Hello everyone, welcome to the end of April recap. So I just want to begin by saying thank you to all those who watched the live streams. The first one I did was me climbing the famous Nietzsche path from Aise-sur-Mer, which goes up 427 meters to the village of Aise. I stumbled and took wrong turns as I read passages from Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and it was great fun. The other live stream I did was actually today, and it was on an article from National Geographic History about the so-called Children's Crusades. A very interesting article, and it was fun to go through it live. Now on to some exciting news. I recently met a celebrity. Well, a celebrity for all the Reading Explorer fans out there. Those who have done any reading or writing classes with me know that I love using the Reading Explorer series. And in Unit 6 of Reading Explorer Foundations, we read about Felix Finkbeiner, a young German student who at 9 years old challenged his school to plant 1 million trees in 2007. The project grew and he eventually started the organization Plant for the Planet, which now plants trees all over the world and educates students about climate concerns and issues. As I was leaving an event one night here in France, I mentioned to someone who had been there that I work in the non-profit sphere, and he mentioned that he was kind of part of that whole thing too. So I asked what organization he worked for, and he said he was the Chief Technical Officer for Plant for the Planet. I was really in disbelief at that moment, so he whipped out his phone and showed me a picture of him with Felix. And it was pretty amazing to see that. So actually a few days later, I contacted him, we met up, and we talked about the whole nonprofit and charity world. It was quite insightful. Next, moving on to more about education. I've been in touch with a representative from a great school here in Antibes. It's called the CIA, the Centre International d'Antibes. And she let me know that they provide French lessons for school-age students and also adults wanting to learn French. They also offer fun activities such as sailing classes in French along the beautiful Côte d'Azur. I think it's a great program, and I would be happy to provide extra details for any families interested in finding out more about these programs. Next, speaking of French, I would like to give a shout out to Zen for getting an A+ on his recent French speaking test. We actually did some practice beforehand, and I don't claim to be super amazing at French, but for him, it was at least a chance to practice, and I also had a lot of fun trying to get through some basic conversation. So, really good job. And now, on a personal note, I'd like to go through a few things I've been working on. In terms of re-ed, I'm still working on making content and have realized that what I want for right now is to be proficient in many different resources that I use for my classes. So that means knowing the ins and outs of these numerous textbooks and websites that I use. That means researching and going through all of the material from Core Knowledge, CK12.org, Khan Academy, Math Mammoth, Cengage Learning, and many more. So for me, that means just a lot of time studying, which is great. I really enjoy it. Otherwise, I'm still working on personal things like learning coding, practicing my French, and I'm reading a few books, most notably The Unbearable Lightness of Being, and also Carl Jung's The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious. I recently ventured on the Eurovelo bike trail, but I had to return after 2 days as my sleeping bag wasn't warm enough. So a friend of mine recently lent me her sleeping bag, and I'm going to head out back tomorrow, hoping to cycle from Antibes to Avignon. And I have a train booked back to Antibes from Avignon this coming Friday, May 2nd. So hopefully I can make it in time for that train. Lastly, I will be starting a new job in May, but I will try to maintain at least one live stream and also this monthly recap video and of course educational content throughout the next few months. That's all for now. A big thank you to everyone who supports this channel. and supports Re-Ed, and happy soon to be May. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.